Hello, welcome to season 6 of Just a Breezy Chat. You might notice a little bit of different scenery. We are in a completely different apartment because they are currently renovating ours for a couple of days. So I have this little podcast area set up so I can focus solely on my podcasting um, and getting episodes done because I really need to get caught up, especially with every other podcast I have, from True Crime Lounge to Down the Rabbit Hole to Dark Academia Queen, which I'm waiting on Gabby for Dark Academia Queen before I do any more episodes on that. Um, so if y'all are waiting patiently for that, I understand. And there's Sassy Southern Belle, which I'm still lining up interviews for to get schedules, time set up, and everything else. But anyway, if you're new here, hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Also, please subscribe, help a girl out. Today, we're going to be talking about the reality of being an introvert. How many of us know an introvert? I'm an introvert for sure. I can only people so long that I have to recharge my social battery. My friends get it, so I love that they don't get that. But what is the definition of an introvert? This is someone who is concerned predominantly with their own thoughts and feelings rather than external things. Um, what are some? I think Francesca is the great example of being an introvert from Bridgerton. I think she also might be on the spectrum a bit too. But anyway, because I also think I might be on the spectrum, like, because I love true crime, I'm obsessed with it and everything, and I'm obsessed with the way she loves her piano. So I really do think she might be on the spectrum, with everything. But anyway, I'm not a specialist, so I can't really confirm that. But what are some signs of being an introvert? You avoid small talk. I hate small talk. That's the thing. Like, I rather you get to the point of a conversation. Um, you enjoy spending your time alone. Like, you're self aware of what's going on around you and everything. Like, you observe everything. You prefer writing over speaking. You're probably wondering, if I'm an introvert, why am I doing this podcast? Well, I get to talk to a camera, and there's no people around, so I'm good with that. Um, you enjoy solitude, honestly. You have few friends, and you like it like that. You avoid large gatherings because they overwhelm you. Um, you find people draining and you startle easily. You're reflective. You take time to make decisions. You also are the best at thinking alone, and you feel misunderstood. Um, you're a good listener. Emotional fatigue. You know what I'm talking about. You get tired easily when it comes to people. Deep thinkers, like you're an overthinker. You know it in your heart. You feel drained after social interactions, and you need a mental stimulation. Networking makes you feel very uncomfortable, but you have to do it. Like, so many times when I go to the Rotary lunches, I was like, I hated doing. Like, I love going, but I also hated having to network. Really bad. I suck at it. Um, but you're quiet. Socializing drains you. You don't fancy parties. Um, you find small talk incredibly cumbersome. You have a rich inner life. So, what are some great example of introverted characters? Francesca, Bridgerton, Swanson, Dumbledore, Elsa. In the words of saying, "Let it go." I'm not gonna sing for you because I don't want to ruin your eardrums. Trust me on that one. But what is the reality of being an introvert that a lot of people don't realize, or they often fantasize over? Well, introverts adapt to their work environment even though it's not something that comes natural to them. They often dislike small talk and seeing it as a waste of time and energy. Um, there's many rewards. Like, we may be less motivated and energized by rewards than extroverts, which can lead us to less talking and enthusiasm. Social settings. Introverts may feel awkward in large groups and can be misunderstood as unfriendly or aloof. Relationships. Introverts can be skilled at building deep and long lasting relationships, valuing quality over quantity, and being loyal to and considerate. We love alone time. We prioritize alone time and for self reflection and observation, and can be easily overwhelmed by external stimuli. Um, Being around people, like, find around a few people that we're really comfortable with, but it quickly becomes drained when it comes to dealing with many people. So, yeah. Let's talk about introvert hangover and what that is. An introvert hangover is basically when serious social burnout many introverts experience, and this is marked by a significant mental or physical fatigue. So, what are some signs of introvert hangover? Every little thing gets on your nerves. When you've had an introvert hangover, even the small annoyances can overwhelm you. Normally, you brush it off as a sarcastic comment from a partner and stay calm when you misplace your keys, but not in this state. An introvert hangover can make it feel like though your head is so full it might burst, leaving no room for even the smallest extra bit of information. Um, because you're so tired and it's hard to control your emotions. You struggle with your emotions. Even small decisions become difficult. Um, Paper or plastic, pumpkin pie or cherry. Pumpkin pie always for the holiday season. But you get where I'm going with this. And normally these choices wouldn't be so hard. But when you have an introvert hangover, your brain is so tired that even if it doesn't function properly for bigger issues, that you might find yourself obsessively thinking about the situation to the point of frustration. Excuse me. You're searching for that one piece of information that will show you the right way forward, and it just becomes exhausted, and your mind can't focus enough on that. Another one is you think clearly. You cannot think clearly at all. It's similar to a previous point where you feel like your mind is processing everything in slow motion and you might struggle to recall details or things that should easily know, like your daily schedule, where you left your phone, or even common passwords. Now, what about your speech changes? Well, your speech might slower when unusually long pauses between your words. Sometimes you might use words that are close to what you mean but not quite. For instance, dessert clearly becomes candy, or where's my coat becomes just a very vague gesture. You might even seem a bit intoxicated, even if you hadn't had any alcohol. And you might slur your words and mispronounce them, or both. You feel physically unwell. Some introverts report experiencing headaches, muscle aches, and upset stomachs, or other physical symptoms. You're tired, like you're really tired. It's like someone who's just finished an intense workout at the gym, and it's someone who offers a quiet, and if you're offered a quiet spot to nap, you accept it immediately. And after a social event, you find yourself collapsing on the couch, skipping your usual evening routines and heading straight to bed. You're zoning out. You find it hard to focus. Um, Sometimes you might be speaking, but you're not observing the words. Your expression might be blank, sad, or even angry, but you're not necessarily upset. You might even simply be wondering, perhaps, lost in your daydreams. You feel anxious. And for some of us, an anxious hangover can intensify with anxiety. In social situations, they might particularly be nervous, worried about how others perceive us, concerned with how they might say or do the wrong thing. This also may find themselves overthinking a particular decision, unable to escape an anxious thought in spiral due to fatigue. You feel depressed. An introvert hangover can also trigger a form any feelings of, of depression. You might feel like you're overwhelmed by pessimism, cynicism, questioning um past decisions, and experiencing dark thoughts. Everything in life may seem bleak or not okay. You're not acting like yourself. You might be quieter or less cheerful than normal. Something seems off, and and those that are close to you are likely to pick up on it. You can't handle small talk anymore. When you're experiencing an introvert hangover at a social event, you might find yourself find it hard to keep conversations, and you might run out of small talk. Your mind is also tired to think in anything polite or interesting to say. You have intense desires to be alone. I like being alone. That's my thing. Like, I need someone like, you know how Francesca has her John? I need someone like that who understands the value of alone time. But when you're dealing with an introvert hangover, all you crave is solitude. When it's sneaking off to the bathroom during a social gathering and cozying up in your pajamas afterwards, you also need to find yourself for time for yourself. For introverts, there is nothing quite like comfort or being alone after a hectic day at a social gathering. So, we're probably wondering what causes a introvert hangover. Well, research has shown that eventually people get tired of socializing, even extroverts. And socializing requires energy, and while everyone reaches their limit, however, introverts experience social burnout more quickly and intensely. Why is this the case? Um, People are more sensitive to noise and other forms of stimulation compared to extroverts, and their dopamine systems are less active, meaning that there is an overload of dopamine in the feel-good neurotransmitter can leave them feeling overstimulated. In contrast, extroverts also feel energized by the same levels of dopamine, which can help them push past social fatigue. What is the cure? So the best cure for an introvert hangover is to spend time alone in a peaceful and quiet environment. Do self-care, hobbies, whatever makes you happy. If you are completely alone, look for small ways to take a break, and you can listen for music with your headphones, go for a walk or something. As introverts, we might feel pressure to fit into society and often values extroverted behaviors. We often worry about prioritizing our needs and how it inconvenience others and hurt their feelings. And it can lead you to hide or deny what you really need, causing more stress. What to know, like, and also remember, your needs as an introvert are valid. It's perfectly okay to leave a party early or to spend an entire to spend time alone. You need or real respect. So, what do we need to know when dating an introvert? Um, don't date one if you don't want to. Like, just don't. Accept us as we are. Um, Plan low key dates. Don't make don't make their desire to be alone time about you. Don't force them anything they don't want to do. Don't know that introverts are selectively social. I think this is very important because with my friends, like I'm a social butterfly. When I'm at work, I'm more social because I've been with them. I'm finally comfortable around them, and it takes me a minute to come out of my shell. But like, don't try to impress us. Well, if you really want to impress me, I'm an overthinker. Intelligence, babe. I'm telling you, it works every time. Maintain separate but interwoven lives. Recognize our need for independence. Um, s- some will be quite direct, like for example, determining how you communicate with introverts starts by recognizing tendency to be blunt and direct. Um, offer us a space to be ourselves. Focus on mutual interest. Determine appropriate compromises. Appreciate our strengths. You're probably wondering, how do we know if an introvert likes you? I'd be honest with y'all, I suck at flirting. Like when I make it obvious, it's like, yes, I know. Like it's obvious and it's awkward. So I've learned not to show it. But you can tell if we like you by inviting you into our personal space, making the effort to connect, and showing affection. Like, I'm not an affectionate person. I hate hugs and all of that, so. But we open up. Like, we go the extra mile for you. Like, if you're important to us, we're gonna know, like, your little birthday, whatever. Small details are important to us. What are some things to remember? Not every introvert is the same. Some introverts may have excellent social skills and form deep relationships. Introverts process information differently. Introverts seem disinterested. Introverts may prefer deep conversation. Um, we prefer small groups, and we may have a good time, and we also can be good at reading body language. Like, one thing I've learned that you read the room. Like, after a while, you let people know, like, you just observe everybody and everything else. So you can learn their quirks and what makes them them. But that is it for this episode. I will see y'all next time. And join me next time, as we talk about embracing our 20s. That's it, though. I will see you next time.